Hey everybody, Sean here from BoredParacord.com and Paracord.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make this single strand kind of Cobra over a single strand bracelet. Very minimalist type bracelet, very thin. You can kind of see it right next to my wrist there. We got a mini buckle here which I need to get off. As you can see, I ran out of micro cord doing this earlier, so I'm going to show you how to do this, but first what I got to do is get this buckle out of here, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my buckle back. This is a small rubber band. I got a big old bag of them at the dollar store. You don't need a rubber band, but it definitely makes it easier once we get to it. This is the mini buckle. I think I already said that. And then I just got a piece of scrap here of the red. And what you need to do is you want to measure. You're not really measuring, really. You're going around your wrist, just like this. And then you're going to go an extra inch past where the end point is. So your ending is right here. You're going to go an inch past that to right here where my thumb is at. And we're going to cut our cord right there. So you want the cord 1 inch longer than what your wrist is. And I don't know where my scissors are at, so I've got to use a knife here. It does the same job. And when you melt your end here, you want to melt it in a way to where it's not going to irritate your skin, because this is the point, this is the part of the bracelet where it's going to be up against your skin. So you just kind of want to round it to a nice smooth edge right there. I'll get rid of that piece, and this is the piece we're going to be using. So it's just big enough to go around my wrist and have an extra inch on there. As you can see, got my wrist. So we might be about 1.5 inches. It's kind of hard to see there, but maybe about 1.5 inches, which is fine. Not a big deal. So the first thing we want to do is take the mini buckle, and there's two sides of this. One side is kind of rounded, and the other side is flattened. That's the back side. The back side is flat. So we want to take the cord and go down through the buckle from the curved side down through the bottom. And we're just going to, fold it over like this, and then grab your rubber band. You could also use like we call them chip clips, but it's a clothespin. Use a clothespin on there to hold it. And you're just going to wrap this around a few times just to hold that in place. And this is just going to hold in place down here at the very, very tip of it. Let me zoom in on this for you so you can see what I'm doing here. So this piece here is going to be on the inside of the bracelet. So that's going to be up against your skin right there. And we just want to hold this in place because we're going to start our tie right here. I'm going to set that down for a moment. Grab my micro cord. Excuse me, I just got done mowing the lawn and my allergies are kicking my butt right now. Okay, so on the one that I showed you here, that I ran out of cord, I used 6 foot of micro cord on here. So I think I'm gonna up it to about 11 feet. So let me, I'm gonna go off camera here for a second and do out about 11 feet here. My arm span's about 6 foot, and we'll add one. Actually, we'll just add about 5 more feet to that, which is about right there. Again, I got to use the knife to cut this. And on the micro cord, you still have to singe the ends. Pretty easy to do. Alright, so now what you want to do is you want to grab both of the ends of paracord. Now I got quite a bit here. Seems like a lot of micro cord, but trust me, I thought it was a lot when I was doing this, and I ended up running out. So find your center point by putting the two ends together and bringing. Hold on, I dropped my microphone. I gotta clip this back on. You might hear a whole bunch of noise while I do this. Alright, sorry about that. Try not to hook your micro cord onto your microphone. Okay, I should have been a little more prepared. Okay, so once you find your center point, all you're going to do is do an overhand knot, which means you're just going to make a loop here, one over the other, just like that. You're going to take one side down through the loop, and that's an overhand knot. Real simple to do. Take your bracelet now, and you're going to basically just put the, let me zoom in on here for you. You're going to put the loop around the red part and pull it tight. And you want this to be as close to the buckle as you can get it. And you really want to pull this tight, because this is the only thing that's going to hold the paracord in place. And I tested it. Once this is put on there nice and tight, it will not come off. I pulled as hard as I could, and I could not get it loose. So you just want to pull this extremely tight. Don't worry about breaking the microcord. It's 95-pound strength. I mean, I guess if you're pulling real hard, you might have to worry about it, but it's not too bad. All right, and I just want to try and cinch this up as far to the buckle as I can go. I think that's going to be good. And we just basically do our Solomon. So I'm going to take my left cord, create a loop on the left, go over the center strand, take my right cord, draw it over top of the left cord, go behind the center strand, and up through the loop on the left. So you should have something that looks just like that. The left cord goes over the center, the right cord goes under the center. And then they both kind of loop inside of each other. And you're going to pull this tight. Now you want to make sure that the back side here goes up over top of the strand. Pull it nice and tight. And when I say tight, like as tight as you can pull it, because that's going to hold the back on here. I think I can fit one more on there, so we're just going to repeat that procedure. Create a loop on the right now with the same cord that you created the loop on the left. So the over cord always goes over top of the center, and this cord on the left always goes behind the center. So we're going over the center, create a loop, take the left cord over the right, behind the back, and up through that loop. And again, I think I can get one or two more on the back side here, covering that back. Yep, I can do that one. And that might be it. We'll try for another one, but I don't know if I can get another one over top of that anyway. Okay, so now we're on the left side. This one's going to, basically, it's going to flip back and forth. So we did the right side over, now we do the left side over. Right side over the left, take it behind the back, and up through the loop on the left. And that's what's called a Solomon, or some people like to call it a Cobra. I use both really. And yep, that one went over top of the back. And as you can see, that's probably going to be the last one that goes over the back. So now all you have to do really is just work your way to the other end by doing the Cobra stitch, Solomon, either one. You can call it whatever you want, either one. So I'm going to do a few more here. And which side are we on? One way that you can tell which side you're on, let me grab a fid here so I can point to it. The one that goes underneath of this little bridge right here. See how it goes over top and comes out the side? That's the one that you're going to make your first loop on. So we know it's on the left side. Create the left loop. Cross your right working end over. Take it behind the back and up and through. And that should give you enough instruction. One other thing to keep in mind is that when you're doing this, make sure that this is level with your buckle. You don't want these to be off to the side. You don't want them to be turned, because then it's gonna be crooked. Your buckle is going to be turned like this, while the design of the bracelet will be like that. So you want to make sure that these are on the same plane. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to work my way down, get to the end, and then we'll just reverse the procedure on how to get the rubber band on there and get the other end to where it needs to be, and I will be right back. Oh, okay, so I am back down here at the bottom, and I left just enough room in here so that I could, get the loop in there from the buckle. So what I have to do is take the other end of the buckle off. There we go. And we're going to go top down. So you can look for the curved side of the buckle, and you just want to put the paracord down through there. And we're going to hold it again with a rubber band. This is probably the hardest part of this whole bracelet, is just getting this rubber band in place, but once you get it, it's there. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I've got this upside down, so I'm going to turn it over. All right, so what we're going to do now is just, you're going to weave up until the point at which you need to go over this. And I'm going to zoom in on this. I'm going to try to keep this in frame as best as I can. There we go. And try and knock this out pretty quick. I'm pretty much at the end. These first couple ties here, they're not going to cover it, which will be just fine. And I might actually have to move it down a little bit because I think I used up too much. So what I'm going to do is just pull on this main cord just a little to move this part that way a little further, because I think I've got too much hanging out and I don't want to make this bracelet too short because I'm actually going to wear this one. So I'm just going to finish this up as quick as I can. I'm not used to doing Solomon with the microcord. It's a little tedious. It doesn't take too long, it's just a little tedious, but I think the results of this look really good. I'm not a big fan into the big bulky bracelets. I mean, about the Cobra or the fishtail, that's about as bulky as I go. So this will be a nice little one I can wear to the gym. It matches my shoes. Okay, so it looks like that one went underneath a little bit. So we'll just back it out a little bit further. And this next one, we're going to make sure it goes over top of that on the back side. And that's what's going to lock it in place. So I'm pretty sure I went over top of it. Yeah, I did. So just pull, and these ones you want to pull real tight. You can see I went over top of it. Oops, out of the frame a little bit. I went over top of it. And remember, we made this end nice and smooth so it doesn't irritate your skin, because that's going to be up against your wrist. I'm going to do one more here and then take the rubber band off so I can go right up to the buckle. It's kind of hard getting down to the bottom. I guess this might be a little easier on a jig, but like I always say, I don't like doing my videos with a jig because not everybody has one. And I want to make sure that you can do this without having to buy a jig. Alright, we're going to take the rubber band out. And we got about 3 more passes. And then what you would do is cut your ends, melt the ends with a torch lighter. Use a smoothing tool to smooth them out. But since I don't have a pair of scissors, I'm gonna have to go and look, see what I did with them. Pull that tight. I might finish that off camera. I think I can. You know, I think I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to bunch it up right there, so I'm just gonna pull extremely tight. And we'll see how it goes. I'm going to cut one of these. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. So I'm going to cut the end with this knife. This knife is really sharp. So yeah, we got a pretty good cut on that. Not too frayed out, but and then use the torch lighter. It's kind of hard to see because the cord is so tiny. Just tap on it to smooth that out. So there's that one. And if you're using a pair of scissors, just cut it as close to the bracelet as you can. Make sure to leave enough that you can melt it. Try and do this so you can see it without burning my table. There we go. And then just smooth it out with something, smoothing tool. Like smoothing tool works great. So there it is. That is the, I don't know what to call this. I think I'm just going to call it the mini Cobra. Because you got the King Cobra, you've got the, there's a few different names for Cobras or Solomons, but this is the mini, which is just one single strand of paracord down the middle. And let's try this thing on real quick. I think we did pretty good on the sizing of it. These mini ones are a little harder to get together. Here we go, come on. All right, well, I can just look at it to tell if I got it to the right. So yeah, that's gonna work. That's about exactly where I wanted it. Nice and small, nothing real big. Hope you like this one. I haven't seen anybody do this yet, and I've looked in a couple different forums and looked at a lot of pictures. So we're just gonna call this the Mini Solomon over a 1-strand paracord. If you hop over to Facebook, go to facebook.com/groups/paracordon. That's where you'll find my group. Almost 20,000 members in there, showing off their work, coming up with new ideas. This is going to be posted in there in just a little while, so I hope to see you in there. And until next time, paracord on.